Okay, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back. And it is Wednesday, April 29th, and it is 9:05 p.m. And I know I usually upload things, around midnight or so. So when you see this or get the bell notification, you're all going to be looking at it going, what meaneth this? It just means that I got around to it a little earlier tonight because I wanted to fit in at least 2 videos. So that is what's on tap for tonight. We're going to get caught up with the Q post. Then we're going to go and get caught up with the other news. And there's a lot. In fact, I really have enough to do 3 videos tonight, but I really doubt my voice will hold out for 3. But I'm going to do a good solid 2. All right. Well, here we are with the Q posts, and they start, this is from April 28th, and I did miss one from the 26th. I guess I just didn't. It was all by its lonesome there, and I didn't feel that it was worth doing a video for one. So I'll just throw it in with these, and we will get completely caught up with Q. All right, now I do have people to thank, but I'm going to do that in the regular video because a lot of times people that don't normally view my videos will view the Q post videos. So I'm saving that for my regular listeners. And so there you go. All right, well, let's jump in here. And of course, this is the one that I neglected a couple days ago. This is the 26th of April, and it's drop 3988. 3988, and it says General Flynn to be completely exonerated this week. He's asking it as a question, but as we know with Q, those of us that have been following it for the whole time, we know when he asks a question, it's never a question, it's actually a statement. So we can expect to see General Flynn completely exonerated this week. And this from Maria Bartiromo, and of course Q has left us a link to this tweet, and it says, breaking news, sources tell me General Flynn will be completely exonerated this week. It was a total fraud. More tomorrow at Mornings Maria, Fox Business, Fox News, Sunday Futures. All right, so we know, those of us that have been following Q, we've known that all along, that it was a fraud, that it was an injustice. So yeah, this is going to set that right, although it can never be set right because they tarnished his name for nothing. He lost his house. They bankrupted him basically because he had to pay for his defense. So I think that when he is exonerated, that something needs to be done about that. It is absolutely inexcusable that in a country like America, as great as America, you can accuse somebody falsely and they can lose everything they've worked for their entire life and their name, which was above reproach. So I think that it's a terrible injustice what was done to Flynn, and I am so glad that he will be exonerated. And this is the next one, and this is from yesterday, the 28th of April. Well, there is Xander with his little shaved behind, and I think he is wanting to get up in the window, which he's able to do now, so that is wonderful. He is recovering very, very well. Anyway, this is the next post, and it is drop 3989, and it says 3-star General Flynn. And it has, this has been used before. It was used in a post not that long ago, really. I mean, probably a year ago, not even a year ago. And I think it was maybe the 4th of July, around then, that this was used before, and it was called Flags Out. So it says 3-star General Flynn, and of course this picture was called Flags Out. All right, now let's go to the next, and of course Q is going to be speaking a lot about General Flynn here, so we're going on to the next post, 3990, again from yesterday, the 28th of April. And Q has provided us with an FBI chain of command for the mid-year investigation. Then down below, he says the following, and we're going to look at this in a second. FBI chain of command mid-year investigation, HRC email, FBI chain of command, FISA, Russia, POTUS, Flynn, Stone, Papadopoulos, that's right, Papadopoulos, Manafort, CIA Bridge, Brennan, Intel, Access 17, Ukraine, Link, FBI chain of command, DNC hack, CIA Bridge, Ukraine, CrowdStrike, Britain, reconcile. If chain of command plus DOJ, CIA, foreign and domestic found guilty indictment, Chapter 115, classified 1 to 99, re U.S. versus 1236, re FISA, can the same argument be made re mid-year plus DNC plus plus plus? We're gonna break down what this all means. Reference public optics retired left refers to fired forced. So he's letting us know that, and there's going to be things to back this up, that when you see this list and it says fired, forced, a lot of these people, it just said that they left their post. It didn't really say, but he is making it crystal clear. These names were fired and or forced to leave. All right. And here is the list, and you're going to see that it corresponds to the direct chain of command, and that most of the people in that chain of command have now been fired and forced out because they were corrupt. All right, so here we go. Federal Bureau of Investigation, and he puts investigation in quotation marks because that's not what they were doing. They were not doing investigation. In fact, they were framing people and setting up the United States, the President of the United States, a duly elected president, elected by the people, for the people. All right, so James Comey, director, fired. Andrew McCabe, deputy director, fired. Jim Rybicki, chief of staff and senior counselor, fired. James Baker, general counsel, fired. Bill Presap, Director of Counterintelligence, Strzok's boss, fired. We've seen this list before, but obviously Q is providing it again for us to go over it and to compare it to the chain of command for the mid-year investigation, and we're going to do that. All right. So Peter Strzok, Deputy Assistant Director of Counterintelligence, fired. Lisa Page, Office of General Counsel, fired. Mike Cortan, Assistant Director for Public Affairs, fired. Josh Campbell, Special Assistant to Comey, fired. Michael Steinbeck, Head of National Security Division, fired. John Glasalone, predecessor to Steinbeck, Head of National Security Division, fired. James Turgall, Assistant Director, fired. Greg Bauer, Top Congressional Liaison, fired. Tricia Anderson, Principal Deputy General Counsel, fired. Randy Coleman, Assistant Director of Counterintelligence Division, removed. Q. All right, now let's just go back up here, and basically what Q is saying is that all of these people, most of these people in this chain of command that were in charge of the mid-year investigation, which included Hillary Clinton's emails, etc., are now gone. And why are they gone? Because they were corrupt. James Comey was at the top. Chief of Staff was Jim Rybicki. Special Counsel Lisa Page. Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. Mark Giuliano. I don't believe he was fired. He was not on the list. And as Michael Steinbach, he was the NSB EAD. John Glacione, these people were fired. Jim Baker, Office of General Counsel, fired. Bill Presap, Randy Coleman, can't, I'd have to go and check if Randy Coleman is gone, but I think he is. Trisha Anderson, gone. And so the only two that we are questioning is Randy Coleman and Mark Giuliano. So let's just go down to this list again and see, because almost all, 90%, if not more. So, yeah, I don't see Trisha Anderson's, Randy Coleman. So, yeah. And who else was the one that we were questioning? How soon I forget. This guy I don't see anywhere. John, oh yes, I did. Yeah. So it's all of them. It's all of these guys. Wow. Now, what does that tell you? If everybody that was involved in the mid-year investigation is corrupt, what does that tell you? It tells us a great deal. Now, sorry, that was a sneeze. I know I was trying to hold it in because I didn't want to sneeze all over you. Don't want you to catch anything. All right, let's take a look at what Lisa Mae Crowley commented. She said, same DOJ, CIA chain of command with Brennan regarding Ukraine, foreign and domestic help regarding Hillary email investigation, Russia hoax, and DNC hack, CrowdStrike, indictments for Chapter 115, treason, sedition, and subversive activities, plus classified for FISA applies to Hillary Rodham Clinton emails, DNC hack, etc. And let's come down here. This is Dio Presso Liber, Sun Q2 on Twitter. FBI chain of command at time Comey was director of FBI looks to be part of a report, perhaps a FISA abuse investigation report, page 45. Main point of chart is that almost entire leadership was corrupted. This is how they protected Hillary from prosecution and domestic assets. Indicted already, USA versus Brennan, USA versus Comey. Chapter 115, U.S. Code is treason. We have looked at that many, many times in the past because Q has brought that up. They were charged and convicted, possibly in absentia already, and that means even though they were absent, they were still charged and convicted already by military tribunal. Possibly. Same with Dems who committed election fraud in midterms. Either they've already been convicted or indictments ready to go. Of course, we all want to see justice done there because obviously there's been no justice done when these investigations were headed by a department that was almost entirely corrupt. It boggles the mind, doesn't it? But when you have somebody corrupt at the head, they make sure that those underneath them are corrupt as well. That's how it goes. You don't hire, if you're a crook, you don't hire somebody honest to work for you. That would be stupid. So that's obviously what they've done. They've filled these positions with people that are as crooked as they are and will do what they're told. Okay, and here is a meme. It's a meme of corrupt FBI officials who were fired, and it looks very much like the list we just read. And let me just, because that is obviously way too small to read, so let me get this a little bit bigger for us. And we've got Bill Priesap, of course, Peter Strzok, Mary McCord, she wasn't on the list, but she was the acting assistant attorney general. Lisa Page, of course, lover girl. She had an affair with Peter Strzok, and also, I believe she did with Andrew McCabe. I know she had an affair with somebody else. I think it was Andy McCabe. Mike Cortan, he was the assistant director for public affairs. Well, hi. Hey, look at everybody. I know, you're just tolerating it. It's all right. It's okay. All right, and Michael Steinbeck, Josh Campbell, former FBI, David Loffman, Randy Coleman. Some of these are duplicates, obviously. John Carlin, Sally Yates, John Glacioni, Mary McCord, Rachel Brand, yeah, I remember her, that was a while ago, Trisha Anderson. So this is just a close-up, and of course it involves more names, but some of them are duplicates for sure. All right, let's go back because we can. And let's take a look. This is what Lisa May Crowley has to say. Some duplicates in meme, but point is, what was reported publicly as FBI, DOJ, nope. Yeah, that could have been a catastrophe. It could have been catastrophic. Yeah, he was chewing on the wires. Yeah, I can't even tell you how many wires I've had to replace. I don't even want to tell you that. All right, because you would call me crazy. Some duplicates in meme, but point is that what was reported publicly as FBI DOJ officials resigning or retiring was actually Wray and Sessions cleaning house. Remember, Sessions had to authorize all those firings. Public Optics, retired, left, refers to fired, forced. Now, that is something that Q had said a long way back, is that when you heard of these people leaving or retiring, that it wasn't what it appeared. That was just the optics, but they were actually being fired or forced out. Okay, well, we can go on, and we will. This is the next drop. And this, again, is the 28th of April, yesterday, drop 3992, the real purpose of the Mueller investigation. And again, this is kind of going over some things that Q has told us in the past, but that's okay, because you know that there's continually new people coming along that are not aware of everything that went past, because there's too much now to go back. I don't know, it would be an overwhelming task for somebody to go back to the start and, you know, work their way forward. So Q does this every now and then to remind people and to catch new people up. And I think that it's a good thing. Repetition, you know, is a good way to learn things. That's why you had to remember so much and learn so much in school by rote memory. You don't think you're learning, but you actually are. So here we go. Drinking so that my throat will hold out for 2 videos. All right. Mueller designed to take in evidence needed to expose the deep state. DOJ block Mueller evidence ongoing investigation. Mueller designed to limit POTUS ability to maneuver. That was what the whole thing was. It was designed to keep him in line and limit his ability to maneuver. Mueller was designed to stall for time until midterm elections to terminate all House, Senate ongoing investigations. Mueller designed the investigation was designed to safeguard the Democratic Party base, false narrative, Russian collusion, POTUS cheated, evil, sky is falling, in effort to divide and mobilize for future protests, riots, threats, violence, false flags, etc. Mueller was designed to provide fake news with ammunition to sway public opinion, obstruct foreign and domestic agenda, fuel impeachment or removal, fuel anti-POTUS division, prevent unity. Mueller, the investigation was designed to demonstrate to foreign players that the old guard still pulls the strings. Do they? Not anymore. Not anymore. Mueller was designed to mobilize the Democratic Party for midterm vote win. Mueller was designed to push Democrat Party backers to donate via GoFundMe to the Democrat Party. Mueller was designed as public outcry excuse should criminal charges be brought against them. They could claim we're being politically attacked because, Mueller. The news is fake, but the war is real. So, yeah, nothing that the Mueller investigation, yes, it did. It did achieve some of this stuff. It managed to divide the country. It managed to fuel the fake news, fuel the false narrative. All that worked. But, yeah. Now, this by Lisa Mae Crowley, and she says, still thinking Mueller investigation was designed to do everything needed to keep bad actors believing they had the upper hand while real investigations were taking place. Remember, Sessions appointed Durham on the 28th of October, 2017. Mueller met with POTUS day before he was appointed special counsel. Sessions and Wray were the ones who fired all those involved in the coup attempt, sweeping HRC email investigation under the rug, blowing off DNC hack, taking CrowdStrike's word it was Russia, etc. All right. Now, let's go on to the next, and we are on drop 3993, 3993. Adam Schiff knowingly, there's that word knowingly again, knowingly deceived the American public with the Russia hoax. I don't think there's one among us that have any difficulty believing that. And I don't think there's anyone among us who didn't know that. You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, against Q. I'm just saying that if we've been with this from the start, and many of us have, then we know this, and this is not a surprise to any of us. All right, so remember this important fact. Adam Schiff is part of the Gang of Eight, Intel. It will become critical once Gang of Eight material is declassified. Logical question. If Adam Schiff knew everything he's investigating and stating publicly to be knowingly false disinformation, why then would he take the course of actions ongoing? Did Adam Schiff purposefully deceive the American public, thinking the Gang of Eight material and other classified documentation would never reach the public domain? That's right. They didn't think it was going to reach the public domain. They're wrong. Adam Schiff memo false. If Adam Schiff was privy to Gang of Eight classified material, would he not know the same facts, truth, as Nunes? Yeah, he would. Think Nunes memo versus Schiff. Knowingly. What if it was coordinated? Q. Well, of course it was coordinated. Gang of Eight, and this is just a definition, the Gang of Eight is a colloquial term for a set of 8 leaders within the United States Congress who are briefed on classified intelligence matters by the executive branch. Specifically, the Gang of Eight includes the leaders of each of the 2 parties from both the Senate and House of Representatives, and the chairs and ranking minority members of both the Senate Committee and House Committee for Intelligence as set forth by 50 U.S.C. And Lisa Mae Crowley comments, today's drop is almost the same as the 14th of March 2019 drop, minus the threat, insurance to POTUS children. Schiff knowingly deceived the public and also leaked classified info. You're going to get yours, Schiff. You really are. You really are. You may have thought you were above the law, but you're not. It's coming. And this by Dio Presso Liber, SunQ2 on Twitter. This post is self-explanatory. Adam Schiff is part of the Gang of Eight. Allows the president to limit reporting to the Gang of Eight of classified material in Congress. Once this material classified, everyone will know Adam Schiff ran with a false narrative, even though he knew the truth, and he did. Knowingly, he intentionally deceived Americans. He falsified documents and memos to perpetrate a coup against POTUS, a duly elected sitting president that we, the people, elected. That's a very serious charge. Adam Schiff coordinated this with the cabal. Brennan, Hussein, Clinton, Soros. Penalty for treason is ... Yeah, we know what the penalty for treason is. Now, whether they will see that penalty or not, I don't know. I would be happy with them in prison. That's up to the powers that be and, those that are meting out justice. It's up to them and not up to us, the people. But, and I can't ever say that I would be happy about somebody dying. I just can't. That's me. I know that a lot of you don't feel that way, and that's fine as well. We can respect each other's views. I'm not saying they should be let off scot-free. No, I'm not. And if the punishment is death, then the punishment is death. I'm not gonna, but I'm just saying I can't be happy about anybody perishing. I just can't, because we all know, those of us who are believers believe we know where they would go. And if you are celebrating them going to hell, then there's something wrong with you, really. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way at all, because I know it's human nature to, hold that. My flesh, would love to see them, put to death. But my heart, I just can't, because my hope is that they would repent. And then even if their sentence is death, then okay, at least we know that they have repented and will be okay. But I can't celebrate anyone going to hell. I can't. And I don't think that my God would, and I say my God because my God isn't everybody's God. Some people worship whatever, trees, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on that. I don't know why I even got into that conversation. I think those of you that listen to me all the time know exactly where I'm coming from. It's my faith, and that's what I believe. But I'm not asking you to believe anything. We all have a free will. All right. So let's go on now to the next, and we are on drop 3994. 3994. How does George Soros securely communicate with DNC leaders? Well, that's a good question, isn't it, when you think about it? Because he is communicating with them constantly, and we know that. But how? Because remember, Q has made it very, very difficult for them to communicate. He has taken down the ways in which they communicated. However, we're going to see some interesting information here in a minute. So we're going to come back to this because the next three posts are all tied together and we're going to answer them together. All right. So first question, how does George Soros communicate securely with DNC leaders? Second, 3995, how does China securely communicate with DNC leaders? Another good question, isn't it? Because we know that they are in touch with China. They've sold their souls to China, many of them. So how is it that they are able to communicate securely with the DNC leaders? How? Good question. They must have a way, right? And here is the next post. And again, we're going to tie all these together, okay? 3996. Information warfare Q. Not the first time he's posted that. So let's just keeping in mind all the two questions and the statement that Q has just made, information warfare. Let's take a look. And I liked this comment by Lisa Mae Crowley. She says, we learned on the 15th of August, 2018, they used PlayStation and Xbox chat to communicate with each other to avoid being intercepted by the NSA. Or so they thought. appears our military intel has intercepted their communications via the Star Wars game. They were using Star Wars game to privately communicate. 12th of June, 2020, 12th of June 20, game closure announced. Okay, game closure announced on the 13th of March, 2020. Imagine that. Comey's tweet regarding his 7-year-old godson's Star Wars toys clearly is related. Now, okay, they were using Playbox and XChat. Then they moved after that, after finding out their communications weren't secure, they moved to the Star Wars game. And there's a way inside this game that they can communicate with one another. They communicate with other players. And that was what they were using because it wasn't being monitored. So they thought. All right, then we've got this. Now here is the game closure announcement. And this was on March 13th. And it's just interesting that all of a sudden it's gone. It's shut down. Then we have this. Let me make this bigger for you guys because I know you can't see it, you guys, on your tiny phones. All right, now back here, this is April 28th, 2020. He said, how do select bad actors attempt communications without signal collection? Okay, we're not even at that one yet. So let's leave that because it all kind of ties in. And here's James Comey. Those are my 7-year-old godson's Star Wars toys. We promise not to take them down, and they are awesome anyway. And General Flynn is a hero says, sure, that's why they're in your photo. Yeah, he was sending that photo as a communication. That was sent as a communication. Then this is how they were communicating via this game, which is announcing that it's closing. Gee, I wonder why. It says we have come to the decision to shut down Star Wars Commander on June 12, 2020. As of March 13th, 2020, all in-game purchases have been suspended. Star Wars Commander will remain playable until 11 a.m. GMT on June 12th. 2020, we will not be providing refunds. However, any remaining credits will, of course, be available to use until June 12th. We are also soon announcing in-game changes to make the rest of the time with the game extra special for our players. Lastly, we want to say a huge thank you to all players for their continued support of the game. The community behind Star Wars Commander has made it an extraordinary experience for everyone involved. I bet it has. All right, so let's come down here, and it says Silent War. Okay, let me go. I'm missing one. Seems like I am missing something. Okay, it's this. All right, we're going to be getting to this, all of this, and how they're using these games for communication. But this says Silent Wars continues in all caps with one period. Countdown has been going on with the periods after Q posts. Silent War continues. There were 5, then there were 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we are at 1, and it's in all caps, which means Silent War almost complete. Now, I'm trying to find where he got that from, Silent Wars. I think I'm ahead of myself here. Let's go on with the actual drops because I think I've gotten ahead of myself. Sammy, that's my cat, not your cat. Wants some attention. You know cats, they always want attention. Okay, let's go on, and then we're going to catch up with all that game stuff in a second. If the grand jury proceedings, we're on 3999, if the grand jury proceedings are complete, the evidence can now be used to free Flynn. So this is drop 3693, and that was a drop, and Q has included it here, from Monday, December 16th, 2019. He said, same evidence to free Flynn currently being used to indict others, grand jury. 302 mod 1 count, who listened in, 2 counts, FISA, 6 counts, FBI, 1, Flynn interview. Okay, I don't understand exactly what all this, if FISA warrant was illegal, if FISA warrant predicated on illegal or uncorroborated evidence, if FISA actors purposefully withheld exculpatory evidence from the court, which they did, watch what happens next. So Q is reminding us of that. And this by Dio Presso Liber says, once again, Q reiterates the same evidence that will exonerate General Flynn was being used to indict the deep state, and therefore the DOJ and FBI Director Wray would not authorize the D-class of this evidence. Durham-Huber investigation wrapping up, and evidence is now available to exonerate General Flynn. So this is good news because it means that the Durham and Huber investigations wrapping up, and now this classified information is now available, which that information, which was being used to indict others, will be used to free Flynn. So now that it's wrapping up, that information can get out there and it'll exonerate Flynn, because of course we've known for a very long time that he is innocent. All right, now back to Star Wars. This is drop 4,000. Star Wars Commander, SWC, stands for Star Wars Commander, video game to shut down June 12th, 2020. And we just saw that. So Q, this is from the 16th of November, 2019. He's put this in here to remind us of a previous post he made. And this post said, how do select bad actors attempt communications without signal intelligence collection? Rebellion or empire? Private invite only factions. Dark to light. Q. So that's exactly what he was talking about there, is the Star Wars game, and that you could invite other people in, to your faction or whatever and communicate with them. And they believed that there was no signals intelligence collection on that. But I do believe that they are wrong. So yeah, joke's on them. And here we'll just go out to here. I'll show you this game closure. It's called Star Wars Commander, the game, and it says game closure announcement, and we've already read that, so there's no sense in me reading it again to you. And let's go back here. So yeah, very, very interesting. Now, I think that it's smart that they were using that, but it was dumb to think that, they knew when they took their communications down that they wouldn't just stop communicating. Now, we know that they communicate through pictures and weird Twitter or weird tweets and all sorts of ways, but this is the other way that they communicate. And Comey, in using the Star Wars toys there, was sending a message, of course. All right, let's go on. All right. 4001. Hard to believe, but that's the drop we're on. Twitter experiencing technical issues, delivering direct messages. And this is, he links to this tweet by Twitter. It says, Twitter support, we're having some trouble delivering DMs right now. You may be getting DM notifications, but not seeing the messages that were sent. As soon as this is fixed, we'll let you know. And Q says, all the walls are falling down. Q. So he's letting us know that this isn't, it's not just an innocent, oh, we can't send DMs. There's more to this. And it says, this by Lisa Mae Crowley, censorship is at an all-time high. Don't we know it? social media will be 100% regulated, and some platforms will collapse under its own weight of illegal activities. And the Oppresso Liber, Sun Q2, Twitter direct messaging went down last night. Q said all the walls are falling down. Are deep state criminals still using direct messages to communicate? They could be. Now, it would be stupid if they did, really stupid, if they think that their communications are not being monitored. Really? It's got to be pretty stupid. I mean, even I know that if you message someone in Messenger or on Facebook, they can go through that. Absolutely. Nothing's private anymore. I wish it was, but it isn't. Not that I have anything to hide. I don't care. It's not that I have anything to hide. It's the principle. All right. Now, we're on drop 4002. Game over. Boy, I love to hear that. Game over. Q is exposing their secure communications online video games. And this has a link, and we're going to go out to that in a minute. And Q says dates are important. SWC, Star Wars Commander drop December 16 to closure. Coincidence? Soros invests February 14th. Blizzard. Coincidence? Desperate times call for desperate measures. When? Why do you expose what you know publicly? Q. All right. Well, first, let's investigate this link. Yeah, billionaire George Soros invests $45 million into Activision Blizzard. You don't say. He doesn't look like a gamer type, does he? Not to me. Billionaire investor and philanthropist George Soros has invested $45 million US dollars into Activision Blizzard. Reclaim the Net, citing Fintel, reports that Soros has purchased 758,000 shares for $45 million US dollars. Fintel states this occurred on February 14th. Soros has been accused by some of using his fortune to manipulate international politics and economics. Soros is the founder of Open Society Foundations and has also funded many efforts and organizations some deemed to be liberal, Marxist, politically left, or globalist ideas. These include accusations of aiding migrant and refugee caravans from Africa and the Middle East, supporting the U.S. Democratic Party during the 2016 U.S. presidential election, supporting pro-European Union efforts during the United Kingdom Brexit debates and elections, and supporting internet censorship under the guise of fighting hate speech. Soros has been accused of organizing protests such as those against the U.S. Supreme Court, nomination of Brett Kavanaugh, and the extreme right-wing and white nationalist protesters during Unite the Right rally. These claims have been rejected by the mainstream media. Well, we know why. They're just the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party, claiming they are far-right conspiracy theories. Of course, that's what they use anytime they want to discredit anyone. Oh, it's a conspiracy. With some based around anti-Semitism. None of the accusations levied at Soros have resulted in legal charges or prosecution. While the accusations levied against Activision Blizzard are more solid, they are still damning. Subsidiary Blizzard Entertainment has nothing but bad PR over the last few months. In January 2020, Warcraft 3 Reforged launch was nothing short of a disaster. Complaints arose within 24 hours of the game's launch, and fans who had their original copies of Warcraft 3 forcibly upgraded campaigned to make the game the lowest rated on Metacritic. In October 2019, Blizzard had been denounced by many gamers over their suspension of pro Hearthstone player Blitzchung for his support of the Hong Kong protests, firing the casters and their overall handling of the entire debacle. Even U.S. senators wrote to Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, condemning the decision. As Reclaim the Net points out, however, the disasters have not had any ill effects on Activision Blizzard's stock price. According to MarketWatch, Activision Blizzard ATVI was worth 51.95 US dollars per share. As of this time of writing, it's worth 60.71 US dollars per share. So my question is, why is George Soros so interested in gaming? Well, we know. He has to secure those communications, has to be able to speak with his peeps, so he can control the politics of the world. That's what he wants. Okay, now let's look at this. Lisa May Crowley says, believe they meant Star Wars Commander drop from 16th of November. They realized they were busted, so they stopped using it. And Soros invested in Activision Blizzard on the 14th of February. Q Team exposes what they know to force them to react and expend resources, ammo. Absolutely. Why would Soros invest so much money in a game format such as Activision Blizzard? Simple. He's securing a new platform for deep state communications. NSA is 17 steps ahead of him, though. Soros, China, and DNC leaders were communicating through Star Wars Commander game, Star Wars chat, Xbox chat, Gmail drafts, etc. Q posted about the mode of communications used by the Dems in prior posts. Soros invested $45 million in Activision Blizzard online gaming to secure a place for comms between the deep state, DNC, and China. Q said to compare dates of investment to Star Wars chat drop. Once Star Wars chat was exposed by Q on December 16th, Soros stopped using this platform to communicate with China and the DNC. Interesting. Fascinating. Absolutely. So now we know. I don't think any of us knew about the Activision Blizzard stuff, but the thing is, Trump administration has his eye very squarely on Soros and what he's doing. So they know. They're 10 steps ahead, maybe more. So let's look at this now. And we are on drop 4003. Democrats benefit the most from the COVID-19 lockdown and panic. Yes, they do. They do, because it shuts down Trump's rallies. It shuts down, what is Trump's biggest brag? The economy. Shuts down the economy, wrecks the economy. The unemployment, that's another big brag of the Trump administration, because they've brought the unemployment the lowest that it's been in almost forever. So naturally the Dems would want to hit those areas that Trump has been stellar in: the economy, the unemployment, things like that. And they don't want him out there doing his rallies because it draws people out of the woodwork. They're like termites coming out of the wood. You say that you're going to hold a Trump rally, and chances are not only is it packed to the gills, but there's thousands of people outside. So yeah, there's no other political leader, I don't think ever, that has drawn those kinds of crowds. And yet, according to the mainstream media, everybody hates Trump. Really? Because I don't think I would wait in line, or wait in line like the day before and sleep in the lineup to see somebody that I didn't like. Would you? I find that very doubtful, right? We just don't expend the energy on people that we don't think is worthwhile. Like, there's people that even if you gave me a free ticket, I wouldn't want to go see them. Like, you could give me a free trip and pay for my flight and everything to go see Hillary Clinton, and I'd turn it down. I don't want to see her. My gosh, I'd ruin my whole day, month, year, life. Okay, So here we are on this, and it says D's benefit the most from the COVID-19 lockdown and panic, which we know. And this is the quote by Henry Kissinger, which we've looked at before. Today, Americans would be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow, they will be grateful. This is especially true if they were told that there was an outside threat from beyond, whether real or promulgated, that threatened our very existence. It is then that all people of the world will pledge with world leaders to deliver them from this evil. The one thing every man fears is the unknown. When presented with this scenario, individual rights will be willingly relinquished for the guarantee of their well-being granted to them by their world government. And this is Henry Kissinger in an address to the Bilderberg meeting at Evian, France, May 21st, 1992. A little chilling, if you ask me, but Henry Kissinger is a diehard globalist. I don't even know, is he still alive? I haven't heard from him for a long time. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. Maybe some of you know. Could put it in the comments. All right. So this is what the rest of this says. We've looked at this. Why do they want you locked inside? Why do they want you to panic? Why do they want you to live in fear? Why is the media banning anyone who challenges the COVID-19 narrative? Good question. This has everything to do with the presidential election. Who benefits the most? Obviously, the Democrats. Logical thinking, all assets deployed. Their motto is win by any means necessary. Q. And we know that. We know that they have no moral compass. They are completely morally bankrupt. They will do whatever they must do, including death, to secure power again. All right. And this from de Blasio, which is also a link in this post. It says, my message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. The time for warnings has passed. I have instructed the New York Police Department to proceed immediately to summons or even arrest those who gather in large groups. This is about stopping this disease and saving lives, period. No, it's not. It has very, very little to do with stopping the disease and saving lives. Very little to do with that. And we know it. I just saw on Twitter tonight that this police officer just harassing this woman because she let her child go and play at the neighbor's house. And they were at her door. And they had also talked to the neighbor. Now, who told them? I don't know. Probably some nosy neighbor. But it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. All right. Now, this from Lisa Mae Crowley. POTUS pushing decision to states regarding stay-at-home orders exposes the Democrat tyranny. They want to keep us afraid to go out, keep death toll high, ban unsanctioned COVID-19 discussions, for example, cures, force vaccinations, and force mail-in voting to regain power, because we know how they deal with mail-in voting. We can't trust these people. Unfortunately, we can't trust them because they will do whatever it takes. They just don't seem to have any conscience whatsoever. They believe that the ends justify the means, and that's scary. And this from Dio Presso Liber, Sun Q2 on Twitter. Q posts the plan, quote from Kissinger, men fear the unknown and will willingly relinquish their rights for a guarantee of their well-being by the government. The Dems want fear and unrest. They want to destroy our economy. They are doing all of this simply to win the presidential election. De Blasio and other communist mayors and governors in blue states are trying to make life miserable for people. They want to draw out lockdown until election time, if possible. They want to have justification for mail-in ballots so they can cheat. So, yeah, we're wanting to open the country up. Trump is wanting to open the country up, and it's the Democrat states that are wanting it to stay closed down. Now, that tells you a whole lot, doesn't it? It does, because they want to stretch this out to election time. They want to scare everybody. Don't go out. This terrible, terrible virus is going to get you and kill you. And really, there are cures for this. We know there are. In fact, Trump told us what that cure was, and he has been ridiculed. And not only that, but Fauci is now touting a drug that one pill costs $1,000. Who can afford that? I can't. I can't afford $1,000 for one pill. And, and yet the other drug is just pennies a pill. I think it's, I don't know, it's well under $1 anyway. So yeah, we can see what they're up to. It's becoming very evident. It wasn't at first. It wasn't. I thought, okay, this is for our good, and I guess we're going to have to do this, or we're going to see what happened in China. We're going to see that here. But I think, yeah, well, I won't get into that because this is going to be long. It's already way too long. Okay. Why would in-game, this is 4004, why would in-game chat be disabled during false flag events? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Well, I guess that's probably why he asked it. And he's showing something here. I've made it bigger down here. And it says anons, impressive, most impressive. Why would in-game chat be disabled during false flag events? Question. And I didn't know that they were. I didn't know that in-game chat was disabled during false flag events. Apparently it is. So let's take a look. Let's look at this first. Now, it says chat disabled June 28th, 2018, 6:46 p.m. And that was the Capital Gazette fruiting. A mass fruiting occurred at the offices of the Capitol and newspaper serving Annapolis, Maryland. The gunman, Jared Ramos, shot and killed 5 employees with a shotgun. 2 others were injured while trying to escape. Ramos was arrested shortly thereafter. So interesting that this chat in, I'm not sure which game this is, but Sons of Death, issue in-game chat disabled. On all 3 of my accounts, I'm seeing chat is currently disabled. Please try again later. This is really messing with squad donations, especially for war prep. If this does not clear overnight tomorrow, I may report to Disney, keeping everyone informed. So it was disabled during that false flag. And here, after loading Commander, our squad is experiencing chat problems after loading the game. Once loaded, we can see prior chat, but no new chat will appear unless we reload Commander. That's Star Wars Commander, that game. Anyone else having this issue, being like this for about 3 weeks now, only way to chat is by using relays. Now, this is July 22nd, 2018. Well, we go down here, July 22nd, 2018, and this is the 2018 Toronto fruiting. 2018 Toronto fruiting, known locally as the Danforth fruiting, was a mass fruiting that occurred on Danforth Avenue in the Greektown neighborhood of Toronto, Ontario, Canada on the night of July 22nd, 2018. Killed 2 people, wounded 13 using, I'm not going to say this word because they censor anything to do with guns. All right. Now, let's come over here and see other examples. All right, this is, hang on here. Let me make this smaller. We're over here. Okay, this is Friday, April 20th. Seems that we've taken a step back on the in-game chat. What was working pretty well, historically speaking, is once again a problem to deal with. We're seeing a general lag in messages. So this is Star Wars General again. And this is Friday, April 20th. And what happened there? Well, let's go look. All right. Well, that was student wounded in shooting at Florida high school, authorities say. Yeah. And come down here. This is interesting because Q on the 17th of February 2020 said, game over. To be blunt, game over, Q. And what happened? That was when the Star Wars game closure announcement happened. And just before it happened. Let's see over here. Yeah, that was March 13th. And Q said this on the 17th of February. So yeah, pretty close together there. And so apparently their communications on these boards shut down during AFF. So, and here we've got from the 28th of April, this is actually, no, it is, we've already looked at this actually. The 16th of November, Q is reminding us how do select bad actors attempt communications without signal intelligence collection, rebellion, or empire. Well, we know that it's that game that is now going to be shut down. And yeah, so anyway, very, very interesting. And let's go back. Now that we know what they're doing, Anons correlate dates of Star Wars Commander in-game chat being disabled with dates of FFs. Assume so there is nothing that can tie bad actors' private chats on those dates with FF events if chat logs were ever subpoenaed. Plausible deniability. They plant manifesto on 8chan instead. Q showing how bad actors used Star Wars command chat to communicate plans and directions for FFs and attacks. Chat disabled during FF, so no evidence available to obtain that FF was planned on chat. Manifestos posted on 8chan at that time to blame Anons and Q for attacks. Q congratulates Anons for deciphering the dates. Communications are silent are dates of school fruitings. All right. Now, and we are getting to the end because I know this is very long, but I didn't want to split it into two because we've already got 2 videos tonight, and that would make 3. Okay, 4005, example of online chats dated May 17th, 2017. And Q has posted this, and this Anon has said, just like you, they go silent during operations. So let's look at this, although we'll never be able to read that because it's too small. So let's go here and make it bigger. So this is an example of an in-game chat. It says RR, now who would that be? Rod Rosenstein isn't taking shite, and he knows our friends have stuff on him. I'm hearing Mueller maybe by the end of the week. Now this is May 17th, and what date did they say? 2017, I think. Let me see here. Let me see. I'm sorry. I think I broke my brain. I've been like looking at this stuff for so long that my brain's broke. Okay, this is from, dated May 17th, 2017. Okay, let's go back now and look at this. Okay, so RR isn't taking shite, and he knows our friends have stuff on him. I'm hearing Mueller maybe by the end of the week. Hearing that too, White House will be blindsided. Let's put MF back in the news. Can have S draw up memo on Turkey with Erdogan, thugs beating protesters in the street. It fits news cycles, and I'm sure we need a few more memos down the road. Good practice. I'm in. S, you in? You in here? Our friends in New York still have secure connections set up waiting. MF was mentioned in company group 2. Evidently their work on the Limey is paying off. Paying off how? Getting to him? Yeah, he mentioned Limey in a call earlier this week. Scared, shiteless. Now, I'm not sure who MF is. I'd have to think about that. I'm not sure who that is. If any of you, if it jumps right into your brain, put it in the comments below. it helps us all. Yeah, he mentioned Limey in a call earlier, scared shitless. He isn't the brightest bulb, but that project has worked perfectly. It really has. Huck didn't, AEWP, mention it when we gave him the tape. Not AE, but someone else there. Not sure who. I wasn't listening in, but our carrier pigeon said in a debrief that they said something along the lines of, no wonder no one in our business has called Limey out. What's the point when you all keep bringing us great stuff? It actually helps our page views when she gets all of her minions fired up with dumb shite first. That's effing amazing. Hey all, been watching in. Here's with S in GT Outpost. All go from us. Huck will send memo to usual place. Do your magic. Roger, any update on Camp Eagle? Asset en route. Don't expect much from it. He's been out far too long. Figures okay, Huck. Keep that connection open and expect something to come through pipeline a little later. Just stall them. RM is happening tonight, so they'll have plenty to cover. Tonight, F. Quicker than I thought. Connection will remain open. Let me know if we want to tip on RM. Just let it ride. Today's time is up. Everyone knows what to do. Tomorrow will be a busy day for all, so we'll let everyone know what time when S hears from Grapevine. So this is an example of their private communications and how they coordinate with one another in these game chats. Pretty sickening. And I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to take additional time to look into what they're actually saying and who these names are, because I was a little shocked when I saw all the posts from today, and I thought, oh my gosh. So I kind of had to do this in a rush because I had already prepared the other stuff. All right, let's go back now. And I know we are going to be wrapping things up very quickly here. And Q said close Q. And here is Lisa Mae Crowley. She says, wow, game log from the 17th of May, 2017, discussing Rod Rosenstein, RM. Oh, that's Mueller. MF is General Flynn. Limey is a she, Theresa May. S equals Strzok. Was this same day New York Times wrote about General Flynn and Turkey investigation, same day Mueller appointed to the special counsel. Interesting. And the oppressor Lieber says, Q posts chat log from Star Wars online game chat of cabal figures talking back and forth about an operation. Anon attempted decipher of who players are in chat. Anon said cabal goes silent on comms when they have an operation, and Q says close. Apparently these idiots forgot to go silent during this particular operation. NSA has it all. These people are really stupid. There was evidence this chat log was dropped back in 2017 on the dark web, perhaps NSA. Q posts chat logs, presumably from Star Wars game, of cabal figures talking back and forth about an operation. MF refers to Michael Flynn. Obviously, they were chatterboxes discussing this operation to take down General Flynn. They also mention RR, Rod Rosenstein, and having stuff on him. Blackmail. Yeah, fascinating. And then there's this. POTUS tweet from May 17th, 2019 on spying and treason. So this is his tweet from May 17th. My campaign for president was conclusively spied on. Nothing like this has ever happened in American politics. A really bad situation. Treason means long jail sentences, and this was treason. So after that link, Q posts this. Be ready, Q. And we know who he's saying that to. Not us. He's saying that to the people that spied on him and all these illegal operations that they tried to carry out. Lisa Mae Crowley says, interesting that POTUS tweeted this 2 years to the day from the 17th of May, 2017 chat log in previous drop. The year is assumed since it appears they are discussing Mueller being appointed to the special counsel, which happened that same day. And Dio Presso Liber says, Q tells us to be ready and quotes a POTUS tweet from 2019 in which POTUS discusses his campaign being spied on and treason. POTUS posted that tweet 2 years to the day that Rosenstein appointed Mueller as special counsel. POTUS was clearly sending a message that he knew what was up. Treason. And yeah, he is so far ahead of people. So far ahead of people. I just had this horrible thought that something might not be recording, but it is. Yay! Okay, because that would really suck. All right, let's go back here. We're almost finished, I think. I hope, because I need to take a small break before I do the second video. All right, and this is drop 4007, and it says May 18th, 2017. Rod Rosenstein appoints Rob Mueller as special counsel. And we have this tweet, which, on here. Yeah, this. It says, could these be the links? And it says here, says, watch, the Turkish president's bodyguards beat up U.S. protesters after he met with Trump. And let's go here. And then we have this, May 18th, 2017, Deputy U.S. Attorney General Rod Rosenstein appoints former FBI Director Robert Mueller as a special counsel overseeing the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 campaign. And let's go back. And then we have this, that's taken from that conversation. RR isn't talking shite, and he knows our friends have stuff on him. I'm hearing Mueller, maybe by the end of the week, hearing that too. White House will be blindsided. Let's put Michael Flynn back in the news. Can have S, not sure who S, draw up memo on, Strzok. Can have Strzok draw up memo on Turkey with Erdogan thugs beating protesters in the street. It fits news cycles, and I'm sure we'll need a few more memos down the road. So whatever they were talking about, that was exactly what was happening. So we know that this is correct, and that is how they were communicating. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, let's come down here. And this is all what we just looked at. We looked at that, and it says Anon connects discussion in chat log regarding Turkey protesters and Mueller appointment. That 18th of May date is wrong, though. Mueller was appointed on the 17th of May, same day as chat log. Makes me wonder if they were in London time zone, which is 5 hours ahead of DC. No idea if this is the Camp Eagle mentioned in the chat. Same with GT Outpost. Wasn't aware the chat log was posted back in May 17th, 2 days after chat took place. The article explains the chat. No wonder Q kept saying, you have more than you know. AEWP is likely Adam Entis at Washington Post. Limey is likely Louis Mensch. All right. And now we are, I think this is the second to the last. So, and it says new title to be determined. Read slowly and carefully. Knowledge is power. Irregular warfare is more varied than conventional conflict. Hence, the importance of an intellectual framework that is coherent enough to provide guidance and flexible enough to adapt to circumstances. American counterinsurgency practice rests on a number of assumptions that the decisive effort is rarely military, although security is the essential prerequisite for success, that our effort must be directed to the creation of local and national government structures that will serve their populations and, over time, replace the efforts of foreign partners that superior knowledge, and in particular understanding of the human terrain is essential, and that we must have the patience to persevere in what will necessarily prove long struggles. Insurgency, however, can and will flourish in the modern environment. The strains created by globalization, by the collapse of weak state structures, by demographic, environmental, and economic pressures, by the ease of cooperation among insurgent groups and criminals, and by the appearance of destructive radical ideologies, all augur a period in which free and moderate government is at risk. Insurgency is the organized use of subversion and violence to seize, nullify, or challenge political control of a region. As such, it is primarily a political struggle in which both sides used armed force to create space for their political, economic, and influence activities to be effective. Insurgency is not always conducted by a single group with a centralized military-style command structure, but may involve a complex matrix of different actors with various aims, loosely connected in dynamic and non-hierarchical networks. To be successful, insurgencies require charismatic leadership, supporters, recruits, supplies, safe havens, and funding, often from illicit activities. They only need the active support of a few enabling individuals, but the passive acquiescence of a large population of the contested population will give a higher probability of success. This is best achieved when the political cause of the insurgency has strong appeal, manipulating religious, tribal, or local identity to exploit common societal grievances or needs. Insurgents seek to control a population through a combination of persuasion, subversion, and coercion, while using guerrilla tactics to offset the strengths of government security forces. Their intent is usually to protract the struggle, exhaust the government, and win sufficient popular support to force capitulation or political accommodation. Consequently, insurgencies evolve through a series of stages, though the progression and outcome will be different in almost every case. Now, this is what he has posted a link to, and it is a document called U.S. Government Counterinsurgency Guide. And we're not going to go through that, but I am going to leave the link to this PDF pinned to the first comment so that it'll be available for your perusal. And let's go back here to this, and it says COINTEL Guide signed 1 week. Now this is important. COINTEL Guide signed 1 week before Hussein inaugurated. We were the real target. They employed tactics, techniques, and procedures described regarding how insurgents seek to gain control. And that's exactly what they were trying to do. Now, this from Dio Presso Liber. Q posted the counterinsurgency guide from January 2009 in February. The target was the USA. They hid their plan in plain sight. Prepared in January 2009 when Hussein took the presidency, it lays out how the deep state plans to subvert and take over the U.S., but other governments It lays out how the deep state plans to subvert and take over the U.S., but not other, I'm not sure what he's meaning here. He left out a word, but other governments throughout the world. They use illicit criminal activity to fund their insurgency. Think back to 2009. Hussein ended opium eradication efforts in Afghanistan in 2009, effectively greenlighting Afghan opium production and the Afghan heroin trade. By 2010, all U.S. efforts to eradicate Afghan opium ceased. Guerrilla tactics to offset government security forces equals weakening morale of U.S. military, underfunding military, allowing equipment to get old without replacing or repairing, terrorist attacks on U.S. forces stationed abroad, Iran, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. Think of how the Dems have used Antifa, universities, athletes, Hollywood to promote divisiveness and distrust. Infiltration, not invasion. They only need active support of a few enabling individuals, a charismatic leadership, think Hussein, and a passive public. How true is that? Very true. All right. Now, Q posted an excerpt from the State Department Counterinsurgency Guide that was published, and this is by Praying Medic, in January of 2009, days before Barack Obama was inaugurated. Q seemed to be highlighting how insurgency tactics are being used by the establishment to control the population in the hope of removing POTUS from office. And that is very interesting. I'm going to leave that guide for you. It'll be pinned to the first comment, and we are now on the last Q post, which means we are completely caught up at this point, unless Q has been posting further. Let's go check that before I say that, because I want to know for sure that we are caught up. Let's go to Q here. Yes, we are completely caught up. So, woohoo! Yay for us. All right, so let's look at the very last post here, and that will close out this video. Now it says chloroquine, CHQ, and hydroxychloroquine, HCQ, are effective antivirals against COVID-19. Now, we know that, right? And here is the link, but I have cut this out for you just to save a bit of time. So here it is. This is the link that links to this. Sequential CQ/HCQ research papers and reports, January to April 20th, 2020. Executive summary interpretation of the data in this report. The HCQ, well, this would be the hydroxychloroquine with the Z-Pak, I think, azithromycin combination, when started immediately after diagnosis, appears to be safe and effective treatment for COVID-19 with a mortality rate of 0.5% in elderly patients. It avoids worsening and clears virus persistence and contagious infectivity in most cases. So why would you not use that, which is pennies per pill, or I'm not sure, it's well under $1. Maybe it's 60 cents or something like that, but it's well under $1. Why would you use that? Why would you not use that instead of something that does not have as great an efficacy as this and costs $1,000 a pill? Mystery to me. Well, it isn't a mystery, is it though? Okay, doc contains sequential HCQ research papers and reports from January to April 20th. Conclusion: safe and effective versus COVID-19 with mortality rate of 0.5 in elderly patients. So we know it would be even less in the younger. Q posted a link to a Google document. The document proves some of the scientific evidence showing the effectiveness of that drug combo. I don't want to say it too many times because now they are censoring that word. And some of the research was done more than a decade ago. If evidence for the effectiveness of chloroquine derivatives for treating CV was established long ago, why do politicians and the press insist these medications are untested? Because they're liars. They want people to die. They do. How many people could have been saved in this country if they had followed that advice and given them that drug? I'd like to know. And of course, we know the numbers are inflated anyway, but yeah. So that brings us to the end of Q. Boy, he has been a busy guy. Now, I know it's not just one person. It's a group of people. It's he, she, they. We don't know. But they have been busy. And so that brings us up to date. And I am going to end that there. And I will be back. Yes, I will. I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to get this uploaded. And I will be back. The second video probably will be uploaded late because it's now 10:29. It'll probably be close to 11 by the time I start recording the second one, which means I would be uploading it around 12 or a bit before. So just letting you know, I am going to be doing another video, but it will be a little bit late. All right. This took longer than I thought, but I knew it was important. I knew you guys would want, me to go through those because a lot of people started listening to this because of Q. So there you go. That's it for tonight, or actually for this video. It's not it for tonight. And you guys stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and you keep seeking truth, because the truth will set you free. Good night, guys.